Test. Test. 1, 2, 3. Is this thing on? Test. Test. If you're ready, then I will begin. I draw a path between 3 points on Google Earth. Each point represents a radio transmitter. Stop. Test. Test. 1, 2, 3. Is this thing on? Test. Test. If you're ready, then I will begin. I draw a path between 3 points on Google Earth. Each point represents a location from which radio signals are relayed and transmitted from. Each point sits at a significant altitude in the landscape, so if you can imagine standing at any of the points that I'm describing, you can imagine a vast view ahead of you. You would be looking down over rolling hills, down towards a variety of hamlets, both large and small. Depending on the season and where upon the path you're standing, these hamlets will be nestled in a landscape that switches between shades of leafy verdant green and the barren dirty red brown of midwinter heather and rock. Stop. Test. Test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Test. Are we on air? Test. If you're ready, then we'll begin. I draw a path between 3 points on Google Earth. Each point represents a location from which radio signals are transmitted and relayed from. Each location sits at a significant altitude in the landscape, so if you can imagine standing at any of these points that I'm describing, you can imagine the broadcast range of such transmitters as being vast. For example, the Emily Moore Tower broadcasts BBC One, BBC Two, ITV1, or Yorkshire as it's called within the region, Channel 4 and Channel 5, and 6 digital television multiplexes and 3 digital radio ensembles, as well as 2 independent local radio stations, Galaxy 105 and Real Radio, formerly Huddersfield FM. It broadcasts over an area approximately 10,000 kilometres squared, and it is the main station for some 57 relays and repeaters throughout Yorkshire and the surrounding counties. This area has always been important for RF or radio frequency transmission, and from the foot of every structure, both home Moss and Moorside Edge transmitters are visible. Both of the latter are within 10 miles radius of Emily Moore mast, and are in a southwest and a west-northwesterly directions respectively. Stop. 1, 2, 3. Test. 1, 2. Test. 2, 2. Test. A microphone is a transducer. This is just a fancy word that means to convert one kind of signal or energy into another kind of signal or energy. And in a typical handheld mic, the diaphragm is located in the head of the microphone. Here, I am using a dynamic microphone. In a dynamic microphone, the diaphragm moves either a magnet or a coil when it is hit by sound waves. The movement creates a small current that in turn becomes an audio signal. The audio signal is received by an output device, and the signal is changed again back into a small electrical current that in turn becomes an acoustic vibration or sound wave through a speaker, incidentally also a transducer. The potential for... Stop. One, 2, 3. Hello? 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 4, 5, 6. Is this thing working? With my finger I draw a triangle in the condensation that's formed on the bus window. Through it you can make out a landscape of moist brown, grey and green. To me now this place is exciting and alien, yet to me then it was commonplace and slightly boring. Emily Moore Mast has always been important to me. It's an artefact of pride, located on my bus route to and from school, back and forth on the working school days of the week. In high tone, I explained to my travelling cohort that at the time of its building, Emily Moor Mast was the largest poured concrete structure in the United Kingdom. And further, the technique for pumping concrete to the altitude required was devised by my great-uncle Jack Myers, of Naylor Myers Concrete and Aggregates, a man who I never met, but within whom I placed a stop. Test. Test. Dum. 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 Do. 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 Is this thing on? Can you hear me? Lace both of my hands palms down on the desktop. An electrical transmission engineer at Home Moss explains to me the shutdown procedure for the switching desk of the transmitter. A proper switchdown, including the rerouting of signals to other transmission stations, can take up to 45 minutes. There is a simple kill switch in case of emergencies, though this would shut down all broadcasts from the station and leave large sections of the northwest with reduced access to a variety of key television and radio stations. It takes all of my energy to keep my hands firmly planted in place, a rogue voice in my head telling me to get up, walk around the table, flick the switch, kill the signal, kill it, kill it, kill it. When it becomes time to leave, I thank the engineer, hands still planted firmly on the desktop, boring my hands and boring my palm prints into the wood. Stop. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that sounds good. Then we'll begin. On the windowsill lies a dusty collection of ornaments. The only part of my room not strewn with clothes, books, belongings, and other childlike detritus. It is a place of worship. A wooden toy car given to me by my aunt. A ship in a bottle stolen from my parents' far more significant ornament cabinet. 2 hexagonally shaped bottles, one blue, one green, from a glass factory in North Yorkshire. A crystal radio, still tuned to Virgin 1215, and a piece of dusty marble that I stole from the archaeological remains of the Greek city of Mycenae. Beyond this child's museum, you can look out into the night, craning your neck and pressing a face against the smaller of the 2 west-southwest facing windows, gazing through the tree branches that form the canopy of the clough. You can make out 2 sets of lights that give up the location of the Moorside Edge transmission station. If we were to stand at the overlook point at Moorside Edge, we would be face to face with one of the most powerful medium wave radio transmitters in Britain. I often stand at the overlook point and imagine that I can see the radio waves emanating from the twin 158 metre tall steel lattice towers, see them passing down, passing through me, passing on through onlookers next to me, and then passing out into the wilderness of the Pennines. Moorside Edge is within 10 miles of both Home Moss and Emily Moor Mast. Both of the latter can be seen from the site in a south-southeasterly and a stop. Test. Test. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think I have it this time. Test. Test. If you're ready, then I will begin. I draw a path between 3 points on Google Earth. Each point represents a radio transmitter. Stop.